Well, due to copyright reasons, I cannot upload the trailer outright, but I do have it, and I have seen it. Even with Maul's trailer, they got me copyrighted so fast that it made my head spin, so I'm not gonna risk it again. I'm just gonna show you these images right here, and these are beautiful, and as you can see, the trailer itself mainly focused on, well, the title, Mandalorian and Grogu, which is all good, but as we know, there's a lot of things in this trailer that wasn't shown, and we're here to talk about them, because it is perhaps one of the most important scenes in the Mandalorian and Grogu. At the very least, it will be a central point from the connection of Ahsoka Season 2 and the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. You see, these two medias will connect in a very simple way. Baylan releasing Abaloth, and of course none other than Luke Skywalker to face her. Ahsoka will try on Peridea. I think that Season 2 will be Ahsoka just trying to get back and dealing with Abaloth and with Baylan and with Shin Hati, but at the end of the day, I really do think that all of these characters will make it back, and not just Thrawn wreaking havoc on the galaxy, but it will be Abaloth too. This is where Luke Skywalker, the Grand Master Jedi, the best Jedi left, and with ancient knowledge of the Jedi textbooks, let's not forget, this is what will help him overcome everything. So today I want to tackle how Luke Skywalker will actually handle Abaloth and what this trailer, this Star Wars Celebration trailer, did not show you. Abaloth is the long-forgotten mother. She was corrupted over time. She is immortal, and her powers know no bounds. This might be a giant leap for Star Wars. It's something that we might have not encountered ever. And again, it is connected to not only Luke, but Thrawn, because in Rebels, we have some sort of a creature like that, and that's the Bendu. The connection is Thrawn in this case, because Thrawn was baffled when he first met the Bendu. It fooled Thrawn, it disappeared right in front of its eyes before its soliloquy. For the first time, Thrawn was kind of shook, because he is a logical being and he has never encountered this sort of a creature before, so you can imagine what he will feel when confronted with Abaloth 2. I suspect this is why in Ahsoka Season 1, Thrawn kind of threw caution to the wind and he aligned himself with the Night Sisters. He now believes in the threat of fate. This is all because of the Bendu, I think, and he has started to believe more and more into this meta-existence, something that he doesn't quite understand. His brain is logical, but there is more to this, to the supernatural. So we now know that Baylan Skoll has been recasted. So Baylan Skoll will have a significant role in Season 2 of Ahsoka as well, in unleashing Abaloth, I think. So what will Luke Skywalker actually do against Abaloth, and why I think that this story between Abaloth and Luke in Legends and how Luke defeats Abaloth has something to do with now canon as well. This gets me so excited for Ahsoka Season 2, you have no idea. I believe that if we compare the canon Luke right now and the Legends Luke at this time around the New Republic era, Legends Luke was a bit more powerful, I think, but this Luke is not a slouch either. So in those legend stories, Grandmaster Luke Skywalker was also supported by a united force of Sith and also Darth Krayt. In the tale, Abaloth is pushed back by Luke but remains unscathed. We've talked multiple times about Abaloth's strength in multiple videos, but more recently it has come up because of Baylan's actions. Now we need to talk about a new question also. After her setback, Abaloth isn't eliminated but merely retreats into a deep rest. Her mastery over the Force outshines almost all entities, placing her as one of the most formidable figures in the Star Wars history, so surpassing any Jedi or Sith before and after. How could you ask Luke to deal with such a great creature? Now, because the Bendu is a Force manifestation sorta, the Bendu could not eliminate Abaloth, and the problem with all of this is even so that Abaloth is not a mortal. She is, in fact, an immortal being. This is what Luke in Legends came to find out really quickly, and this was the biggest problem, similar to the Mortis gods. So the question is, what endows Abaloth with such vast power, and why is she only held back by her incarceration, by her imprisonment, as we see perhaps in canon on Peridea? You see, I think only by connecting the past, the present, and the future, meaning the legends and the canon material, can we get to a very interesting answer, something that might help us along the way of what can we expect in season 2 of Ahsoka. You see, the foundation of Abaloth's might is intertwined with her origins, believe it or not. We've talked a lot previously about Abaloth's origins, how she came to be who she was, but in order to encapsulate everything, essentially what you need to know is that she was talked about in Killik folklore. Abaloth was initially referred to as the Servant, with her genuine name becoming a sort of a mastery. The Servant unexpectedly found herself on the primordial verdant planet of the Ones of Mortis. Once the gods came into the Mortis realm and everything fit into place, the Servant was the one who was integrated with them. So she essentially adopted the role of the mother. She orchestrated the son and the daughter harmoniously. She worked with them. She was the one who was able to bring them together, something that the father could not do, as a matter of fact. So this was one of her greatest strengths. However, this tranquility, of course, was short-lived as the servant's human nature became readily apparent and we saw her age. So she yearned for perpetual companionship with her newfound family, with the Ones. So she approached the font of power and the pool of knowledge, potent force nexuses of shadow and illumination, both of the each side. In her thinking, she thought that by combining the two, she would become one in the middle and try to be like the father, try to be the balancer and keep her son and her daughter in check. Unfortunately, as you may know, her endeavors led to a metamorphosis into a monstrous figure. She was ensnared between the light and the shadow. She evolved into becoming a cosmic, terrifying being. After being abandoned, she transformed into Abaloth. The Ones, with the Killik's assistance, erected the Center Point Station, encasing their ancestral realm within the Maw, a constellation of black voids, in order to restrain her. Yet Abaloth would sporadically break free from time to time, disseminating chaos only to be subdued by the Ones again. This cycle persisted until the Ones died during the Clone Wars era, as we saw. So Abaloth's subsequent breakout during Luke Skywalker's time saw her repelled but not completely killed. Luke hypothesized about her eventual resurgence. He knew that at one point in time, since this cycle keep repeating, one day or another, the Abaloth creature would be freed again and would come for them. And so when Luke devised the plan, he went out to seek for the Mortis dagger as a potential killing apparatus, finally ending the Abaloth nightmare. This of course makes perfect sense because the Mortis dagger actually killed the daughter. You see, the son, once obtaining this dagger, tried to kill the father, but the daughter intervened and was killed instead. This means that the dagger can indeed kill immortals such as the Mortis gods. Luke practically knew that the Mortis dagger would do the same for Abaloth, because Abaloth's unparalleled prowess stems from her dual exposure to both nexuses. So she has unmatched wisdom and also unmatched might. Her vast array of capabilities combined with her insight rendered her nearly undefeatable and immortal to boot. Only the essence of Force Light, which demands purity, eluded her. This was the biggest problem. So Abaloth's healing prowess surpassed even Luke's abilities, which in Legends is legendary, and her resilience hinted at her potential eternity, of course, being immortal. So this means that the only tool to be used against her is the Mortis dagger, which as of right now, both in canon and back then in Legends, the whereabouts were unknown. Luke essentially tells us from Legends lore and material that Dave Filoni is readily inspired by that he will eventually use the Mortis dagger at some point. This gives us a hint was also given in the finale, because the Great Mothers of Dathomir were able to retrieve retrieve the Blade of Talzin by using dark magic and gave it to Morgan Elsbeth. When Thrawn destroyed the Witch Tower, the Night Sisters were taken aback and looked at him with a bit of discontent. Could there be a schism? Will the relationship break down in Season 2 and the Night Sisters might help Luke Skywalker in obtaining the Mortis dagger? I think that would be just amazing and beautiful to see, but sadly Season 2 is far off, so I would love to know. Until then, let's speculate and see. What do you think about the Mortis dagger killing Abaloth? Talk to me down below.